الرحمن الرحيم صلى الله على النبي الكريم نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم تسليما كثيرا به نستعين وبعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Alhamdulillah, we are grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We thank Him, we glorify Him, we ask Him for forgiveness and guidance. We thank Him for giving us this opportunity to study the verses of the glorious Quran in this blessed month of Ramadan, today being 20th of Ramadan, 1439 years after the hijrah of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, which is equivalent to 5th of June 2018 in this masjid of Federal University of Technology, Minna, Niger State. Alhamdulillah, we stopped in Surah Al-Baqarah, that is Surah 2 of the glorious Quran. We are to commence verse 183, inshallah. Bismillah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون أياما معدودات فمن كان منكم مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخر وعلى الذين يطيقونه فدية طعام مسكين فمن تطوع خيرا فهو خير له وأن تصوموا خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون.
MashaAllah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in these verses, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kutiba alaykum as-siyamu kama kutiba ala alladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun ayyaman ma'dudat faman kana minkum maridan aw ala safarin fa'iddatun min ayyamin ukhar wa ala alladhina yutiqunahu fidyatun ta'amu miskin faman tatawwa'a khayran fahuwa khayrun lahu wa an tasumu khayrun lakum in kuntum ta'lamun. This verse was revealed in the second year of the hijrah of our Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. After Rasul migrated from Mecca to Medina, in the second year, this instruction came. A very important thing about Islam is the issue of taking things gradually, step by step. The 5 pillars of Islam, as we are all aware, Kalimatu Shahada, Salat, fasting, Hajj, giving out the zakat. These 5 pillars. It is not all on one day that Allah Ta'ala decreed that all these things Muslims should do. It was a gradual process to tell us the beauty and the good that is in taking things gradually. And the same thing, revelation of the glorious Quran. Allah did not reveal the entire Quran once to our Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and ask the Muslims to start implementing right away. It was a gradual process. For the period of 13 good years that Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam spent in Mecca, only 2 important pillars of Islam have been established. The Kalimatu Shahada and establishing the Salat. The Salat close to the end before Nabi migrated, the issue of Isra and Mi'raj came. So a Salat became compulsory. Fasting, the 3rd pillar, could not be established as a compulsory act until after the Hijrah. It does not mean that Rasul have not been fasting at all. There are some narrations that Rasul fasting Ashura even before the issue of Ramadan. So the fasting, just like Salat, before the 5 daily Salat were made as compulsory on the Muslims, Muslims do observe Salat in another way. Before the Salat of Salat al-Zuhur became 4 raka'at, Asr 4 raka'at, Maghrib 3 raka'at, Isha 4 raka'at, Subhi 2 raka'at. Earlier, before, all Salats were 2 raka'at. That was how the Muslims have been observing before. Before now, the number of rak'ahs were made compulsory and then all these things defined. Even on the issue of observing salat itself, earlier before, the salat, Muslims observe salat, but if there is any kind of reason that they will talk, maybe someone says salam to them or something, they talk while they are still observing salat. Before Allah Ta'ala now reveal, وَقُومُوا لِلَّهِ قَانِتِينَ. Now stay calmly and face your own ibadah without any communication. From there, salat now take its rule of no talk in salat but full concentration. So what we are saying is that things in Islam are gradual. All the period, about 13 years so that Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam stayed in Mecca, was to establish firm iman, conviction, belief that certainly Allah Ta'ala is the creator of all and He alone is the one to be worshipped. The Muslims to be convinced about that. And after that, then the Sharia started coming gradually. So after the migration, in the second year of the Hijrah, specifically in the month of Sha'ban, Allah Ta'ala sent this particular verse to Ar-Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And this verse is showing us one very important and great activity that if you can just recall as human beings now, can you think of any activity that the global world have held firmly and religiously onto that? All of the world hold that particular activity together at once for over 1,000 years. One activity that the whole world are doing at the same time for over 1,000 years. Can you recall any? If you can't recall any, then Muslims have. Hajj is part of it. Hajj is an activity, a global activity. It happens once in a year, and all the world are involved in it. Another thing is fasting in the month of Ramadan. It's one thing that happened in the whole world. Everybody is involved in that. And the Muslims have been doing this for the past 1,438 years. We are in the 39th years, isn't it? It is after the Hijrah, so the first year removed, the second year. So the Muslims have been holding on to this global activity. If there is any activity that the world will even sit and celebrate, if there is such thing, that the whole world has religiously hold firm onto it, non-stop, for over 1,400 years. That is fasting in the month of Ramadan. So if you are fasting now, remind yourself you are joining into an activity that for over 1,400 years the entire world have been doing that have the same belief, and that is Islam. It's a very important activity, and that is fasting. Sometimes, if you see that your country is celebrating something, almost everybody is celebrating without you, you feel somehow, isn't it, that you are not participating, only you alone, then this is now a global activity. I pray Allah Ta'ala assist us. We have to appreciate Allah for Islam. Alhamdulillah bi ni'matul Islam. Wa kafa biha ni'ma. We thank Allah for Islam. If you begin to count the blessings, the bounties, the noble things in Islam, you can't exhaust them. Only if you are able to think of some, and then will make you to appreciate why you are a Muslim. We thank Allah for Islam. So Allah Ta'ala said, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O you believers, O you those who believed, who are convinced and conform to those things that Allah Ta'ala wants you to conform to. That is Iman. Allah now said this is a directive. Kutiba alaykum as-siyam. Fasting has been prescribed unto you now. Fasting has been prescribed unto you. Kama kutiba ala alladhina min qablikum. As it was prescribed on those that came before you. And this fasting, la'allakum tattaqun. The fasting is there so that you will earn at-taqwa, piety, consciousness, fear of Allah, alertness. All these things can take at-taqwa. At-taqwa can mean to be alert. At-taqwa can be to be conscious of Allah Ta'ala. At-taqwa can be to be careful. At-taqwa can take fear of Allah. So to be alert, to be conscious, to fear Allah Ta'ala, as Psalm and fasting was prescribed unto you. I said earlier, you see, if we go back to the glorious Quran, in the first verse, the second verse of Surah Al-Baqarah, the second chapter, Allah Ta'ala said, Alif Lam Mim, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. That Al-Quran is a guidance to those people that have taqwa. People that are conscious and they want to live their life as people that will always be alert to their responsibilities, Quran is a guide to them. But those that will not be alert to their responsibilities, those that don't have fear of Allah, they hardly pick any guidance from Quran. But it is a guidance, Al-Quran, to those people that are conscious of Allah Ta'ala, people that are alert. Who are those people that are conscious? Al-Muttaqun. Allah Ta'ala said, الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ وَيُقِيمُونَ الصَّلَاةَ وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ. The people that have the fear of Allah, the people that have taqwa, they believe in the unseen, al-ghayb, things that their senses have not yet captured, things that will happen after death. And they establish salat, and they give out the zakat. They establish salat. Salat is what can link human beings to Allah. Someone who is observing salat, you say, as musalli yunaji rabbahu. The one that is observing salat is conversating with Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala. What will link you to your creator is a salat. What will link you to other created beings is to be kind to them. And that is why a zakat comes next. Yuqimuna salat wa yu'tuna zakat. Establish link between you and Allah, and establish link between you and the creators of Allah. Be kind to them. Be good to them. Care for them as you care for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah ta'ala says, وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ. When Allah mentioned the issue of people of taqwa, He mentioned salat, He mentioned zakat. Again, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned people that are righteous, He said righteousness is not all about facing the east and the west alone. That's not only righteousness. Allah listed some activities and said righteousness include all these activities, which include kindness to others, fulfillment of promises. Then Allah mentioned including observing the salat and whatever. لَيْسَ الْبِرُّ أَن تُوَلُّوا وُجُوهَكُمْ قِبَلَ الْمَشْرِقِ وَلَكِنَّ الْبِرَّ مَنْ آمَنَ بِاللَّهِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ وَالْمَلَائِكَةِ وَالْكِتَابِ وَالنَّبِيِّينَ. Up to the end. But in all this, Allah didn't mention fasting. Do you realize that? Allah didn't mention fasting. So Allah mentioned the people of taqwa. He mentioned they fear Allah, they are conscious, they are alert to their responsibilities. And they establish salat, they give zakat. The righteous people, Allah mentioned, they are honest in their dealings, they fulfill their promises, they care for others. All these things Allah mentioned are past. And then He said, those that have these attributes, they are the one, أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ صَدَقُوا وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُتَّقُونَ. Those that have all these attributes are the ones that are honest and sincere, and that are truthful to what they believed in. And Allah said, they are the people of taqwa. So Allah mentioned. Now, the next thing Allah Ta'ala mentioned also about people of taqwa. He mentioned about wasiyah. If you are to die, you are supposed to write a will. We mentioned this yesterday and some days back. The importance of writing a will. The importance of caring for others even if you are going back to Allah Ta'ala. And Allah Ta'ala said, this will or wasiyah is haqqan alal muttaqeen. Allah said, a duty or responsibility, but only for those that are attached to their responsibilities, those that fear Allah Ta'ala. So all these are attributes of people that fear Allah. So Allah is mentioning again another important attribute of the believers who fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I said earlier, salat is an individual activity between you and Allah Ta'ala that you do in congregation to earn reward. As far as the issue of law, it is a community activity. The society implement that. We come to wasiyah. It is your individual activity for the benefit of the society. Then we now come to this activity, which we said, if you can count for the past 1,400 years, you can hardly recall an activity that the whole world are involved in non-stop, like the fasting. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, now this fasting is compulsory. Allah prescribed it on you, كَمَا كُتِبَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ, as it was prescribed on those before you. Some scholars say by this, it shows that fasting is an activity that all prophets and messengers participated in. And fasting is an activity that all the followers of prophets and messengers have it in their deen. Whether they take it with seriousness or not, it is an instruction that Allah actually instructed them. Like one statement, Abdullah bin Abbas said, one attitude of followers of the previous prophets is to change things. So even the fasting that was prescribed to them, on them, they were changing how it will be observed, year in, year out, until it lost its real value. Before now, when our Rasul came sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah now directed the Muslims to observe the fasting as it should be observed. So Allah says, "Kama kutiba alladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun." This fasting was prescribed on you, la'allakum tattaqun, for you to attain to piety and fear of Allah. And that's why scholars says that at the end of Ramadan, if you realize that you have not increased in your fear of Allah, then there is fear that you might not have observed the fasting. Because observing the fasting means that at the end of it, there should be a difference in your life. You have acquired the certificate of taqwa, then let it be seen. You see, in Islam, Allah trained us. Like for about how many months? Ramadan, Shawwal, Dhul Qa'dah, Dhul Hajj. About 4 months. Allah Ta'ala dedicated this month to train us on some things. And those things are how to control our emotions, how to control our desire, and how to control how to express our feelings, even if other people offend us. You see, the first in the month of Ramadan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us about Ramadan. And Rasul said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that if you are fasting, if truly you are fasting, you don't quarrel with others. Even if someone abuse you, what should you say? And Rasul said, you should say, inni sa'imun, inni sa'imun. I am fasting, I am fasting. Meaning, if you are fasting, you are expected to shun quarrels, abusive words, and all these kind of things. Rasul also told us that if you are fasting, you are supposed to avoid telling lies, false witness, and all these things, vain talks. If you refuse to avoid this, then Allah has nothing to do with your fasting, as Rasul mentioned. So you see, throughout the month of Ramadan, we are trained on this. Then after the month of Ramadan, we come to the month of Shawwal. They are called Ashhurul Hajj. Month of Shawwal, month of Dhul Qa'dah, month of Dhul Hajj. They are all, the 10 days, they are all months of Hajj. And within this month of Hajj, Allah Ta'ala told us, we'll come to that verse at the end in the same surah, where Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is telling us about the month of Hajj. That if you now take intention of doing Hajj, you've gone into it, فَلَا رَفَثَ وَلَا فُسُوقَ وَلَا جِدَالَ فِي الْحَجِّ. If you go into Hajj, learn to control yourself. فَلَا رَفَث. You should never talk anything immoral. Anything that has to do with immoral talk should not be seen with you in Hajj. فَلَا رَفَثَ وَلَا فُسُوقَ. And anything that goes outside the Sharia of talks that is evil or action that is evil, don't go into it during Hajj. And Allah Ta'ala said also what? وَلَا جِدَالَ. And there is no argument or quarrels in Hajj. So you see, in the month of Ramadan we are trained to shun abusive words, to control our emotions, and to also try and avoid fighting and quarrels. In the month of Shawwal, month of Dhul Qa'dah, month of Dhul Hajj, Allah says within all these months also, you take intention for Hajj, don't do these things. You see, in the whole year, how many months do we have in the year? We have 12 months, isn't it? 4 good months, training you on controlling your utterances, training you on controlling your emotions, training you on how to relate with others. So what excuse will Muslims have that at the end we will portray ourselves as people with bad characters if we are relating with others? No excuse. 4 months, 1/3 of the year, train on this. And not only that, it will take the issue of Salat. We all know what it is in Salat, the kind of training that we are passing through in Salat. So what we are saying here is that Allah Ta'ala said fasting was prescribed on you, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, so that you will attain to at-taqwa, you will attain to piety, you will attain to fear of Allah. You will be able to control yourself, to be able to hold yourself. And that is why when you talk about fasting, it's that Allah Ta'ala said, Kutiba alaykum as-siyam, isn't it? Kutiba alaykum as-siyam. As-sawm. As-sawm, that is fasting itself. What does it mean? Some scholars say this kalma, this word of as-sawm, it is related to stopping something. That means to stop calmly, not to do something. Like some scholars of Arab will say that if a horse that they are riding refused to move, they will say, Swamatil khaylu. That means it stayed calm. It refused to move. The same thing if the wind is not blowing, it is calm. Then it will say that Swamatul Reh. That means the wind is not blowing, it is calm. So it means fasting is related to what? To calmness, control. Then Allah told us what happened to Maryam alayhi salam, the mother of Jesus Christ, peace be upon him and her, that while she took the pregnancy of Jesus Christ, she was to come to the community, to the public, to face the public. She was disturbed and worried because she had never had an affair with a man. All of a sudden, people will see her pregnant. She is worried on what to do. Allah Ta'ala said and sent angel that if you go to the public, say to people, إِنِّي ذَذَرْتُ لِلرَّحْمَنِ صَوْمًا, I have taken a vow between me and Allah of sawm, meaning I will control myself. And from there she said, فَلَنْ أُكَلِّمَ الْيَوْمَ إِنْسِيًّا, I will therefore not talk to anybody, any human being. So fasting is related to what? Control. Remain calm. Remain yourself. Not to be overtaken, even by your own desire. Not to be overtaken, even by what is halal. Because eating is halal. Drinking is halal. Sexual affairs with your wife is halal. But Allah said, no, control yourself within this period. Don't do that. Allah Ta'ala training you on what? On controlling yourself. And this is what taqwa is doing. What is at-taqwa? At-taqwa is to be able to remain focused and alert. Umar radiallahu an, while asking someone about the description of taqwa, he said, have you ever passed through a thin bridge? A bridge that is very, very thin. And on that bridge, you are to cross it. But on the surface of the bridge, there are small, just very narrow and small free areas. Other than those areas, all over the bridge are thorns and dangerous things. If you are crossing this bridge, how do you cross it? Will you rush? You will be very careful. If you put your first leg here, you will look before you put the next, isn't it? You will also watch and watch before you put the next. If someone will push you and say, move fast now, what will you do? Don't disturb me, isn't it? If someone will be pushing you, you will be quarreling him because you know what you are facing. That is at-taqwa. A person that has taqwa will not allow people to push him. Will always be careful. Anything he will do, he will look, he will watch. Will this land me into danger, or I will be free? Will this land me into danger, or I will be free? Will I succeed, or I will fail? This is the life of someone with taqwa in this world. Anything he is doing it with care. Very careful. So Allah Ta'ala gave us Al-Quran and told us so many things we are to do in order for us to live a life of taqwa. That a Muslim will not be pushed by events, by circumstance, by whatever to go out of his way. He will of course do his best in anything. He will do his best to pursue anything he wants to pursue that is good, but he will ensure that he remain focused. And that's why Rasulullah, while describing the affair of a believer, he said, "Ajaban li amri mu'min." The affair of a mu'min is highly appreciable, it's wonderful, it's marvelous, because he is calm. He is someone that is focused. In asabahu sarra'u shakara, fakana khairallah. If on the process of his movement in this world, he come across what makes me happy, he will thank Allah. He will not go out of his way. Fakana khairallah, and that's the best for him. When asabahu darra'u sabara, if he is faced with trials, tribulations, tests, he will be patient. And that's the best for him. He will not go out of his way. What can you say about that person that is crossing this bridge? And then asabahu darra, all of a sudden he match a pin, or he match a particular thorn, and it pained him. If he goes out of his way, what will happen? He will fall. So he should be patient, so that he can go out of that and then move at the next. This is life. And the process of your movement in life, you will come across challenges in life. You can't be free of challenges, whoever you are. However rich you are, however well placed you are, there are challenges that Allah Ta'ala have said that befits you at that particular position. Do we think that the leaders don't have challenges? Do we think those people that have billions or trillions don't have challenges and worries? They have. Some of them even have worse worries than you. Isn't it? So, a Muslim will maintain himself irrespective of the situation he finds himself. So, fasting is to train us to learn all these things. All the activities of fasting are to train us towards that. And that is why even within this month of Ramadan, now we are in the last 10 days of Ramadan. You see how days are fast going. Almost finishing Ramadan. One of the important activities Muslims do in this month, in this period is what? Itikaf. Controlling themselves and remaining in the masajid. Not being carried away by events in the society. Focusing their attention only on ibadah, only on worship. Glorifying Allah, thanking Allah, reciting the glorious Quran, observing salat, only in the masajid. Because of the importance of focusing yourself on what will benefit you in the hereafter. So fasting is to train us on taqwa. All our activities in fasting, is it the fasting you do by not eating, drinking, and having sexual affairs with your spouse? Or fasting within this particular period, you assist others, you care for others. All these things are la'allakum tattaqun. Allah Ta'ala said, this fasting is ayyaman ma'adudat. Isn't it? Ayyaman ma'adudat. Allah has prescribed this fasting ayyaman ma'adudat for specific number of days. Allahu Akbar. Ayyaman ma'adudat. This fasting is not for the whole year. It's not continuous. It's a fasting that Allah prescribed for specified number of days. It is being said that anything that has a limit, that particular thing has defects. And anything that will come and will be moving, one day it will end. We've started the fasting, so some months ago we've been talking about the fasting. It started, but because it is ayyaman ma'adudat, specific number of days counted, the days are going and they are about ending. And any day of Ramadan that is gone, part of you is also gone. Far away from the grave, far away from the world and closer to the graves. For today, from the beginning of Ramadan till now, about 19 days of us has been destroyed in our lives. It has gone, and it will never come forever. The only thing is, it has gone with what? With what we planted on those days. When Allah Ta'ala said, وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. I was saying, I was invited to one lecture. I drew like a rectangle like this with blocks. Just as our teachers, I'm saying my mathematics teachers, they used to tell us about bar chart. You draw something, So I say, you look at this. If you will be cutting it on top from one, removing it one, it will come down, isn't it? It will end. If it is graded and you begin to be removing, maybe you have like 10 centimeter long something, or 10 meter. And then you remove 1 meter, you remove another meter, you remove, gradually it will finish, isn't it? So if we come to this world, Allah give you 70 years to live. Immediately you drop, the reduction will start. One day, the top will be removed. Second day, it will be removed. 1 year, that is how it will be going. Until when it will come to the zero level, then you drop down. Negative, going to the grave. Allah told us in Surah Al-Asr, He said, إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ. I was just demonstrating that. I said, okay, you see, if there are 70 blocks on top, the first block is gone. Is that not khasara? Is that not lost? So the life, if it is 70 blocks, 70 years, 1 is gone, is destroyed. 2 is gone, is destroyed. So al-insan lafi khusr. Human being is what? In the state of loss. But Allah said, but there are people that will not be losing. إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. Those people that believe and do righteous work, they will not be losing those years. Because what will be happening is that if that first block is finished, it will come back to the bottom with good work and it will be stored. If the second block is removed, good work is you plant good work there, it will disappear from this and it will go to the bottom. So all the 70 years will now transfer down. If you die, you meet them and you continue enjoying them forever. And that is why People that live their life planting good every day, they are not losing that day. Because the day is going with a record to wait for them. On the day they will come and meet that day and continue to enjoy it. So if you do good within these days of Ramadan, you have not lost them, but rather they have gone with so many good of you that you have done that you go and meet them. I pray Allah Ta'ala make us to be the doers of good. If you are not opportune to do that good, you still have the time now because you are not yet dead. We always have time to change. And Allah Ta'ala is there to accept our repentance at all times. So Allah Ta'ala said, أَيَّامًا مَعْدُودًا فَمَنْ كَانَ مِنْكُمْ مَرِيضًا أَوْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ فَعِدَّةٌ مِّنْ أَيَّامٍ أُخَرٍ فَمَنْ كَانَ مِنْكُمْ مَرِيضًا. Whoever amongst you is sick. You see, in Islam, there are always windows created for those people that have excuses. In anything in Islam. We remember what we talk about, what scholars used to say always in the usul, al-mashaqqa tajlibu at-taysir, isn't it? If there is difficulties, that difficulty will bring somewhere that will lead to ease. Ad-darar yuzal. If there are harm, you try to remove the harm, isn't it? So all these things that will put the human being into a state of helplessness, the Sharia will give him a way out. So Allah Ta'ala is saying now, fast. Fasting entails avoiding eating, avoiding drinking, sexual satisfaction. But then there can be situations and conditions that the person might not be able to do that. And Allah cited. And He said, فَمَنْ كَانَ مِنْكُمْ مَرِيدًا. Whoever amongst you is sick, Allah recognizes sickness. Whoever among you is sick, أَوْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ, or is on a journey, فَعِدَّةٌ مِّنْ أَيَّامٍ أُخَرٍ. Then counting of other days for repayment is what is on him. Counting on other days of repayment is what is on him. So that is his duty now, to count other days and repay. Marid, sick. Scholars, may Allah have mercy on them. As I used to say that sometimes scholars will have divided opinions and they are not selfish opinions. Allah said if you are sick, then you fast other days. What kind of sickness? And at what level can you say that sickness will lead you to stop fasting? Because if you feel headache a little, it's part of sickness, isn't it? Even today before I came, as if I would not come out because I was feeling headache. It's sickness. Should I break fasting? Or you feel a little obstruction in your stomach. It's sickness. Do you break fasting? Is it not sickness? The Allah Ta'ala says, whoever amongst you is sick should avoid the fasting. So by implication, even if you are feeling headache, you break the fast and say, Allah said, فَمَنْ كَانَ مِنْكُمْ مَرِيدًا أَوْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ. I am sick. You know, people can have excuses, isn't it? And if you go outrightly to just translate it like that, then it's automatically take that. Sickness. But scholars sit down and say, what is this sickness? At what level? And they tilted to an opinion that a sickness that will make you to suffer beyond normal suffering of fasting. Like there are some scholars that say sickness that will make you, as a result of that hunger of fasting, you cannot sit down. In this one, you just have to. Then others say no, the sickness that if you fast, it will be aggravated. It will be aggravated. You are already sick. If you fast, it will be aggravated. Then it falls with this sickness. So in whatever case, the sickness is not a sickness that has no limits, no minimum. If the sickness will reach you, will take you to a level that will harm you if you fast, then scholar says, this is the kind of sickness that Allah is now saying. I hope you get that. Then if you have like that kind of sickness and you suspend fasting, there is no harm on you. Then, aw ala safarin is another thing. Aw ala safarin. Or if you are on a journey. If you are on a journey, you also suspend fasting. What kind of a journey? I am traveling from here to Gidankwano. Or you are traveling from here to Beji. We are traveling for what kind of journey? Because Allah didn't specify. Some people always used to have these things that if it is not specified anything, just take it like that, and you will go out of your way. So some scholars now sat down and looked at what this kind of journey is all about. And they added it together with bringing the rule of journey that will warrant salat to become qasr. Some people will say it because Rasul never declared this is the minimum. So even if you are traveling from here to Mekunkele, you are traveling, you do qasr. Have you ever heard of people saying that? Some people say that. So if it is a traveling anywhere, even if it is 1 mile or 1 kilometer, it's a traveling. Allah says once you are a traveler. But then we'll go out of what our scholars have been teaching us. For example, it was reported that Imam Malik, Imam Ahmad, Imam Shafi are of the opinion that if the travel reach 2 days journey, 2 days journey of the kind of journey they do then, that journey of them, they measure it in what they call farsakh, farasakh. And if you take, I take a little of calculation here, the farsakh, if it is up to 4 farasakh, then that is 12 miles. 12 miles. And that 12 miles, by their calculation, by their estimation of their journey, then is half-day journey. Journey of half-day, they call it a journey that is up to 4 farasakh. Half-day journey. And the 4 farsakh is what they call 1 barid. You know, they said arba'at, 4 burud, isn't it? When it reaches 4, that is 4 farsakh, 4 times 4, which is 16. Then 16 farasakh. That is what will warrant you to travel for how many days journey now? 2 days journey. Do you get that? So according to, and that 2 days journey, if you calculate it, it will translate to about 48 miles by their calculation of miles. And 1 mile, what is the length of 1 mile? 1 mile, they also have, like Ibn Rushd was saying, 1 mile is alfa zira. 1 mile is 2,000 zira. What is zira? 2,000 zira. Even though others say 1 mile, some scholars say 1 mile is the farthest place a normal human being with normal eyes can see on a straight, clear line. If you look at your eyes, the farthest place that's the end of your sight, some scholars say that is 1 mile in a normal horizontal line. While others said no, it is this 20 zira, 2,000 zira, alfa zira. Abu Amir was saying it is 3,500 zira. But we take the 2,000 zira. What is 1 zira? It said 1 zira, double zira is 1 ba'un. And zira is the length from here, from the middle of your chest to the end of your this middle finger, like this. That is 1 zira. Then if you measure this 1,000 length, 1,000 of that, 2,000 alpha, 2,000 of this measurement, that is their calculation of 1 mile. We get that? Then while double of zira is 1 bar, that is if you open your 2 hands open from one end of this finger, middle finger to the end, that is 1 bar. So there are calculations now, they say, for Imam Malik, Imam Ahmad, Imam Shafi, that if you travel for 16 farasakh, which is 2 days journey, then you observe qasr and you can also break fasting. Because it is stressful. Abu Hanifa have the opinion that it has to reach 24 farasakh, that is 3 days journey. Abu Hanifa. Imam Awza'i, who is one of the scholars also of fiqh, he said 1 day journey, which is 8 farsakh. Scholars concluded that if you look at our past scholars, اتفقوا على أن السفر مقدر أما واختلفوا في تقديره. All scholars agree that this journey that is a safar is not an open-ended journey. Where they are divided is what is the minimum. That's why they are divided. So if you come and say it is an open-ended journey, any kind of journey, then you have not said anything among what they said. But which one is the minimum? They were all divided. Why were they divided? Because the meaning of safar itself in Arabic, what is a safar? If you say safar, scholars say it is from the word in Arabic that is related to revealing. Revealing. If a woman, for example, is not wearing her veils, it will say that she has revealed her face. يعني الكشف إن السفر مشتق من السفر. Those scholars of ishtiqaq is part of the branch of knowledge. Ishtiqaq, removing words from their roots. Root meaning. The root meaning where you get the word safar is from sifri. الذي هو الكشف. It used to be said سفرت المرأة عن وجهها. A woman has revealed her face. So journey is from that, suffer from that revealing. It is also used to be said that a traveler is said to be a musafir. Why? If the morning will do, maybe early morning, scholars will say, asfar as-subh. You used to hear of that. Asfar as-subh. That means the morning hours have revealed. It is very clear. So a traveler is called musafir. Why? Because through his journey, لأنه يكشف عن أخلاق المسافر. You can see the real feature of the person who is traveling after traveling. That means if someone should travel to a place that nobody knew him, it is then his real feature will manifest. I don't know whether you are getting what I'm saying. If someone traveled to a far place, he knew nobody. The tendency is that his real self will be known there. Because if nobody is seeing anybody and he come in the midst of new people, if he's an evil person, he will commit the evil because he's thinking nobody sees him. Isn't it? His real person will be known. There was a time Umar bin Khattab was asking of people, he was saying, who will testify as a witness? Someone said, for this person, someone said, yes, I know him. Umar said, how do you know him? Do you used to see him in the masjid praying? He said, yes, I used to see him in the masjid always praying. Umar said, have you ever traveled with him? For a long journey, you traveled with him? He said, no, I've never. I said, okay. Have you ever tested him with money? You give him money for custody? He said, no, I have never. Have you tested him with women? Ladies? He said, no, I have not. He said, go, you didn't know him. Is it because you have seen him in masjid, always putting his phone down? Yeah, you don't know him, you don't know him. It's not enough to know someone until you travel to a faraway place that nobody knew and nobody knew that person. The real person will appear. And that's why sometimes some people get to bring their real persons if they go outside to some hotels that nobody knows them. So a musafir is someone who now takes to a place that his real self will manifest because he has gone away from where people know him. So a musafir is not any other person that just moved from one place to Nukinkile, one place to that particular place. So because of all this, looking at the meaning from the Arabic roots, and looking at so many other things, scholars say it is not all kind of journey. But at the end of it all, any kind of journey you are undertaking and you are fasting, and that journey will not make you to extra suffer, then وَأَنْ تَصُومُوا خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ. To even fast is better, as we will see it later. So Allah Ta'ala is saying, أَيَّامًا مَعْدُودَاتٍ. This fasting as per specified number of days. But for man kana minkum maridan, whoever amongst you is sick, aw ala safarin, or is on a journey, fa iddatun min ayyamin ukhar. He can then count other days and then repay them. Allah Ta'ala says, وَعَلَى الَّذِينَ يُطِيقُونَهُ فِدْيَةٌ طَعَامُ مِسْكِينٍ. وَعَلَى الَّذِينَ يُطِيقُونَهُ. But for those that have the ability of observing the fasting. Scholars added, just because there is also another recitation, فَعَلَى الَّذِينَ يُطَوِّقُونَهُ. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq recited like this, فَعَلَى الَّذِينَ يُطَوِّقُونَهُ فَعَلَى الَّذِينَ يُطِيقُونَهُ فَعَلَى الَّذِينَ يُطَوِّقُونَهُ. Scholars added on and said, for those that will fast but with difficulties, those that will fast but with stress because of certain conditions they found themselves. Because of that, Ikrama was translating that and said, like those people that are pregnant and those people that are elderly. So those, they will fast the fasting with stress and difficulties. And then scholars also have divided opinion. While others say, this verse was earlier revealed that at the initial inception of fasting, people have options. You either feed or you fast. So on this case, وَعَلَى الَّذِينَ يُطِيقُونَهُ فِدْيَةٌ طَعَامُ مِسْكِينٍ is an option. Even if you can fast, but you can give and feed a miskin, either mud or muddain, then you go ahead and feed, you will not fast. But later, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said about Ramadan, that whoever amongst you witnessed the month of Ramadan, he should fast. Then that rule now became an abrogated rule, that everybody must fast. But this rule now remains with those people that are in difficulties. أي نزلت في الحامل والمرضع. And some scholars, they said, this is the rule for the pregnant woman and the woman that is breastfeeding. While others said, a-sheikh wa sheikha. Like Ibn Abbas said, this rule is only for the elderly. If they have difficulties of fasting, they will feed another person in place of the days of the fasting. Allah said, فَمَنْ تَطَوَّأَ خَيْرًا فَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لَهُ وَأَنْ تَصُومُوا خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. فَمَنْ تَطَوَّأَ خَيْرًا. But whoever adds extra of good, فَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لَهُ, that would have been better for him. This فَمَنْ تَطَوَّأَ خَيْرًا, some scholars translated that whoever will feed above just one miskin and add more in the feeding, then that would be better for him. Because it was reported that Anas bin Malik, one of the companions of Rasul, he lived a very long years. He became very old. And therefore he used to feel extra. And saying that he is using this one. That means, فَمَنْ تَطَوَّأَ خَيْرًا فَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لَهُ. Whoever will add more, then that will have been better for him. So it means not just giving the one mood alone. If you can add more and feed more, then it will have been better for you. وَأَنْ تَصُومُوا خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ. But for you to fast, it is the best thing for you. Allah Ta'ala said, إِن كُنْتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. If only you knew the reward that is attached to fasting. What are the rewards attached to fasting? And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, Allah said, every activity that is rewarding, that an individual will have, carried out that activity, Allah reward him 10 times, 100 times, 700 times, and a multiple. But for fasting, Allah Ta'ala said, as-sawmu li wa ana ajzi bi. But for fasting, just leave it. It is mine. And I alone know what to reward the one that will have fasted. So fasting has no specific number of reward attached. It is something that is known to Allah only. In another place when Allah Ta'ala said, إِنَّمَا يُوَفَّ الصَّابِرُونَ أَجْرَهُمْ بِغَيْرِ حِسَابٍ. The people that are patient and persevering, Allah give them their reward without counting. Some scholars says, as-sabirun yani as-saimun. The people that are fasting, their reward is not counted. And Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam mentioned that Allah dedicated a gate in Jannah that is called Ar-Rayyan. That gate, Ar-Rayyan, nobody will be admitted into Jannah through that gate except those people that will have fasted. Therefore, وَأَنْ تَصُومُوا خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. If only you knew, you would have fasted. So there are so many people with flimsy excuses. That because of this, I may not fast. Because of this, I may not fast. وَأَنْ تَصُومُوا خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. If only you know the reward of fasting, wallahi, you will not sacrifice any day of fasting. Unless if it have gone beyond what you can bear. Then if it has gone beyond what you can bear, then you take the window that Allah have created. If you cannot, then you will now suspend that fasting. If it is sickness, leave everything. After Ramadan, you repeat. If it is old age, then leave it and feed one person per one mood, or for 2 moods according to some scholars, and then that is all. You will not repeat anything even after Ramadan. I pray Allah Ta'ala will assist us and guide us and be with us. Inshallah, we are going to stop here for today. And as I said earlier, we are within the period of itikaf. The rules of itikaf are rules that are related to the ibadah itself. If you want to get the reward of itikaf, you have to observe all the rules. Otherwise, you will just remain in the masjid and waste your time. One of the rules of itikaf, you should have sincere intention. Not because you have seen people doing and that is why you are doing. Or because if you did not enter, people will say you are not going for itikaf. You should have sincere intention. Just to win and to earn the pleasure of Allah. And then if you go for the itikaf, the rules of the itikaf, you remain in the masjid. You don't go out. You only go out for necessity, human necessity. Like you go for toilet, you go for urine, or you can go and bath and come back. All these are okay. Or if you don't have the food, it's not around, you can go out to take the food and bring and eat. Even the rehaba of masjid, some scholars say you don't stay there and you are doing itikaf. The itikaf, you have to stay inside the masjid. You only go out if there are genuine reasons that we mention. And in the process of observing the itikaf, the only things you'll be doing in the itikaf, reciting the glorious Quran and reflecting over it, doing azkar and reflecting over the azkar, observing the nawafil. If you are tired, you can sleep. If you are not tired, you do one of this. You don't engage yourself in talks. You don't call or answer calls. You don't visit or accept visitations. You dedicate yourself only to what you are there for. And also, things that nullify itikaf, we mentioned, I think, before the commencement of Ramadan here in our ta'lim that we are doing. Among the things that nullify itikaf that so many of us don't take care of is what? Qawlu zur. Scholars say, once you accuse someone falsely, your itikaf is nullified. Lies, telling lies, is part of kaba'ira. Scholars say kaba'ir nullify itikaf. So if you are doing itikaf and you tell lies, then your itikaf is nullified. Or you are in itikaf, you don't say, oh, that senator slapped the other senator. And you didn't see it, it's just because someone sent a text for you. You know where are this? People will just say something, you are not certain, you go and tell another person. You will nullify, your itikaf will be nullified. So if you are doing itikaf, you have to ensure that you protect yourself against going into the kaba'ira. Sin. Make sure you take care of all these rules as you are doing itikaf. I pray Allah Ta'ala will assist us. There are so many other things, but in summary, ensure that you remain within the guidance of the Sharia. Not discussing with others. An itikaf is an ibadah that is permissible for everyone to observe. Male or female, the elderly and the young, everyone, the ladies, all is permissible. But considering and taking care of the rules of Islam very well. If they are women or their wives, they can only do that with the consent and 100% consent of their husbands. And the same thing, the husbands, if they have wives, they cannot come to itikaf and leave their wives that they have certain needs that they have not satisfied. You have to take care of your house first. You don't run. You run from the home, you remain in masjid. Why you are saying you are doing itikaf? You run away from taking care of your home. You are not doing itikaf. Someone came to someone, one of our predecessors in Bayt al-Maqdis. You know Bayt al-Maqdis is one of the greatest places that itikaf is highly rewarding. He came to visit him. He said, I come to do itikaf with you. He said, mashallah, you are welcome, you are welcome. How about your home and family? He said, no, I left them with Allah. I just here. He said, no, go back home. So I heard Rasul saying, Kafa bil mar'i ithman an yudayya man yaqut. This person said, I heard messenger saying, there is a very big sin and enough if someone to be called a sinner to go and abandon his responsibility. Go back home. So if you come to itikaf and you abandon your responsibility, those taking care of the masjid, please ask the person to go back home. Then again, if you are under your parents, and your parents want your service, assisting and serving your parent is more rewarding than being in the itikaf. Because obedience to parents, again, is more rewarding than the itikaf. So it is good we place things based on their priorities. But someone that is so free, you have taken care of your immediate needs, there are no much burdens and responsibilities on you, then you come to itikaf, you will certainly enjoy. All those that participate in itikaf, after it, they used to feel fresh life. Especially if you take the rule of the itikaf excellently well as they should. You only do itikaf in the masajid. As Allah Ta'ala says, وَلَا تُبَاشِرُوهُنَّ وَأَنْتُمْ عَاكِفُونَ فِي الْمَسَاجِدِ. Itikaf can be done in any masjid, according to the best opinion of scholars. Any masjid. Allah did not restrict. But it's better in the three masajids. Masjid al-Haram, Masjid al-Nabawi, and Masjid al-Aqsa. It's more rewarding there. And you can pack your load if you have money to pay for ticket to go to any of these masjids. If you have the money and you get a reward. But you cannot pack your load and pay for transport money to Abuja National Mosque for itikaf. It's not allowed. Because you don't travel just to another mosque, preparing yourself for that traveling. That is shiddur rihal. You don't do that to any masjid because all masjids have the same status. The only thing scholar says is, if the days of your itikaf include Jum'ah, then the itikaf must be done in Jum'at masjid, where Jum'ah is to be observed, because you can't abandon Jum'ah for itikaf. Jum'ah is more important than the itikaf. But if the days of your itikaf did not include Jum'ah, you can do it in any masjid, even the masjid of your house. If you can take yourself far away, but there's congregational prayer taking place. You don't do itikaf in a place that congregational prayer is not done. The itikaf can be done in any masjid if congregational prayer is being done there. So these are some few things I can remember of itikaf, that for those that have intended, and it can be for just one day, it can be for 10 days, it can be for 2 days, it can be for weekends, it can be for any number of days, according to your ability. But if you are to do for a day, you are to fulfill 1 full night and 1 full day. 1 full night and 1 full day. For example, if you want to do itikaf for the 21st day, because Laylatul Qadr usually is the night that people want to benefit from in itikaf. And Laylatul Qadr falls either in the night of 21, or the night of 23, or the night of 25, or the night of 26, 7. The odd nights. And the night in Islam comes before the day. So like today, our fasting is 20, isn't it? So immediately the sun sets, that night is the night of 21st. So if you want to do itikaf for 21st, then today, according to opinion of our scholars, is that you break your fasting in the masjid. You are going to do the itikaf so that you get the whole of that night. And then you get the whole of the day, and then after breaking the fast, you can go home. It means you have done 1 day itikaf. If you want to do for the entire days of the itikaf, then you wait until the day of Eid, when you will hear announcement that the crescent have been sighted and tomorrow is Eid. Then you have come to the end of your itikaf. But preferably you don't go back home. You wait from the masjid, so that directly from the masjid you proceed to the Eid. Then you have gotten the last 10 days. Itikaf is highly rewarding. There's a hadith of Rasulullah ﷺ that talked about the beauties of itikaf, and that Rasul had been doing itikaf. And since the time he started itikaf, he never stopped till the time he went back to Allah. He has been doing itikaf. There was a year he did itikaf for 20 days. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So itikaf is highly rewarding, it's beneficial, and it has a lot of benefits. But then, for the person that will have taken care and the rules. And don't come to itikaf to become liability on others. There are some people that will come to itikaf because they know that they share something in the masjid. No, you are not coming for itikaf, you are coming to come and parasite. And become a parasite to others. No, you don't do that. You come to itikaf with all your provision. If you are fortunate that someone has better than your own and he assists you, fine and good. And you don't go to itikaf because you know in that masjid they used to share something. There are some masajid they used to share clothes at Tampa. Isn't it? There are some masajid they used to share, so some people go and fill that masjid. You see many people say, what is happening? Say, we're all for itikaf. Because they know something is coming in. Why are we like that? So go for itikaf for the sake of Allah and take care of the role. It's highly rewarded. I pray Allah Ta'ala will assist us. We've taken the time. Do you still have time for questions? Okay. Astaghfirullah. This one said, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May peace and blessings of Allah be with us. Amen. He said, Malan, is it permissible for one to observe nafila prayers outside the masjid when the imam is already reciting khutbah? You see, khutbah is part of the Jum'ah. It's part of the salat of Jum'ah. And if you miss khutbah, the tendency is that your name will not be written in the record before Allah Ta'ala of people that participated in Jum'ah. I used to repeat this for those usually that are not around. And Rasul mentioned that on the day of every day of Jum'at, there are some angels that are dedicated in recording people that come to Jum'at. They will start recording from the first hour. First hour, scholars are divided also on which one is the first hour. They will write, they will continue writing those that come in the second hour, the third hour. They will be writing. And a heavy reward from big camel to very small animal will be recorded for these people. Angels are writing. Whenever you enter, angel will write your name. Whenever you come, they will write your name. Immediately the imam climb the member, they will close the register. They will also sit down to listen to the khutbah. So if you come after the register is closed, what happened to you? 0, absent. Even in our primary school, when the primary teacher finished calling, so and so present, tick, and she closed the register and start teaching and you enter the class. Our teachers, our profs are all here. I know they will not take us present. So if you come to Juma after Imam has started khutbah, your name is not recorded. And that is why don't be surprised on the day of Qiyamah when an announcement will be made. Where are the people of Juma? You will not see your name. Don't be surprised. The same thing as we mentioned of fasting. Don't be surprised if they say, where are people fasting to enter Jannah through Rayyan? You say, I'm here, I've been fasting for the past 40 years. You say, no, you are not involved. Because you are fasting, you've been telling lies in the fasting. You tell lies, you tell all this, you are not qualified. So, Jum'ah, you have to be there before the khutbah. That's the normal thing. Normal Jum'ah. Then if you come, and the imams have started the khutbah, khutbah is more important than anything you can do. The mazhab of Malikiya is of the view that you listening to the khutbah is more rewarding. But scholars of hadith establish and is hadith authentic, and which means you can work with it, because I have not seen anything that has gone contrary to it, that if you enter the masjid, you have not done tahiyatul masjid, you can do tahiyatul masjid. Because Rasul saw someone who entered and sat down, and Rasul asked him, did you do the He said, no, so stand up and do 2 rak'ahs. So if you enter the masjid, you have not done that, you can do that. And then you rely on the hadith and it's okay. You get that. But if you make it habitual, I wouldn't know the justification for you to disuse this hadith. There are people that because they have this hadith, then every Jum'ah, you see them doing nafilah. Because every Jum'ah, they come after the Imam started the khutbah. If you talk to them, say there is hadith. But the hadith said every day that's how we will be doing. The hadith didn't say so. It's an excuse for someone that have genuine excuse. And that is why if you come and it is not your habit, it is good, you observe the tahiyyat to the masjid, then you sit down. But then as this question is asking, you now come, the masjid is filled, you are there by the side of the tree, and the imam is doing khutbah. You now say you do nawafil. Are you doing tahiyyat to the masjid or tahiyyat to shajara? The tree that is there, you are greeting the tree there, we are greeting the masjid. Because you have not entered the masjid. The nafilah inside is to greet the masjid. While you are there under bus park, what do you call that park? Car park. And you are doing nafilah, and the imam is doing khutbah. You are greeting the car park. Since you are a late comer, sit down and listen to the khutbah. Sit down and listen to the khutbah. That's the best thing. It's better we place things at their right and proper place. May Allah assist us. This one said, Assalamu alaikum malam. If I want to marry a sister and her father say over his dead body,
meaning he will never agree. And all of the sudden he died. Can I go ahead and marry her? Yoruba people say, Okpari. Okpari. You see, in the first place, it is not the best thing for parents to deny their daughters from getting married because of one reason or the other that are flimsy. Rasulullah told us, and he said, إِذَا أَتَاكُمْ مَنْ تَرْضَوْنَ دِينَهُ وَخُلُقَهُ فَزَوِّجُوهُ. Rasul said, whoever want to marry your daughter, search for two things. Search for what? Two things. دِينَهُ وَخُلُقَهُ. His inclination to religion. Go and search for that. How religious is he? Is he truly religious? He observes his salat without delay. He takes care of his ibadah without... He is very committed to the ibadah. Search for that. By the time you confirm, after all, he is even teaching Islamiyah. He recites the Quran very well. He is always in the masjid. You have gotten the deen, isn't it? It's not enough. It's not enough. Because you can find someone with all these things and will have problem. So Rasul said, وَخُلُقَهُ. Search for his character also. Two things. Find out about his character. How do he usually relate with others? Is he a honest person? Does he fulfill promises? Has he been marrying wife and divorcing them? Because it's bad character. Has he been batting his wife, beating them? He used to abandon his family, not feeding them? All these things you have to find out. So search for his religion and search for his character. If these two things are okay, Rasul says, فَزَوِّجُوهُ. Give him for marriage. If you refuse to do that, Rasul said, تَكُنْ فِتْنَةٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَفَسَادٌ كَبِيرٌ. If you refuse to allow your daughter to marry that person that you have seen these two qualifications excellently well with him, then wait for problem. تَكُنْ فِتْنَةٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ. Problem will appear on the surface of the earth, and you see the ladies wayward. وَفَسَادٌ كَبِيرٌ. You see so many things. So it's not good for parents to deny their daughters from marrying others, maybe because they do not belong to the same tribe, or the same class, or the same this, or the same that. These are the two things Rasul said, search for. Once you get that, you marry. And for you, the brother that want to marry, if the parents say they are not giving you, the Sharia did not permit you to go and force and snatch that lady and run away. The consent of the wali must be there. Who is the father? Because some brothers, some of us are like that because he want to marry someone and the parents refuse. He will even carry her and run away. Our elders who are leaders in the society, I know one of my teachers is laughing. It used to happen, isn't it? He will run away with the sister. He say, she's a committed sister, I'm also a committed brother. Leave this parent, they don't know anything. They will run away, they will go to a malam and say, Malam, this Malam will contact marriage for them if it's not a Malam. It's not correct. The parent must have to, with their consent, especially father. If the girl or the daughter feel from all her distance that her parents are unfair to her, for that, the Sharia have given her a window of taking the case to the authority. Then the authority can now invite the parents and invite and find out, why are you denying your daughter to do this and that? After all, then the authority can find out. And scholars agreed that if the authority find out that the parents wanted to sell their daughter for money, that's why, then the leadership can now contract the marriage on behalf of the daughter. Do you understand these processes? So it's not just a one straight way that the parent refuses, then you just carry the daughter and then you go ahead and you marry her. It's not correct. I pray Allah assist us. And even then, some scholars says, a lady that will be patient with her parents, even if they deny her marrying the one she loves, she get a better reward. As much as the parents are not marrying her to someone that will reach her in a position that she will lose her deen, her religion. Marrying her to an irreligious person that will destroy her religion. That's why she can resist. I pray Allah Ta'ala assist us. So if this father said over his dead body, And now the dead body is gone. Then it has become over the dead body. So his brothers can go and contract the marriage. And it is okay. Because he did not say that she will never marry forever. I pray Allah Ta'ala assist us. Astaghfirullah. This person says, Assalamu alaikum, Mala. I need your prayers for good job and I want to marry at the same time. This is a very good prayer. All of us here for pray for this person or for this sister. It can be a brother, it can be a sister. Whoever wrote this, oh Allah, we humble ourselves to you. We are your servants, we are your slaves. Within this month of Ramadan, oh Allah, grant this particular person his need. Grant her need. Grant her a good job, or grant him a good job. And grant her a good husband, or grant him a good wife. And we pray Allah Ta'ala will make him to be someone that if he is able to get this, he will benefit Islam with the job. And benefit Islam with the family. And as we supplicate for him, hadith is there, if you supplicate for the other person, the angels will say Amen for you also. So for all those that said Amen, angels are saying Amen for you also. So Amen on. Our brothers and sisters are looking for a job, we know. So we should pray for them and may Allah grant them job. And it is one of the rewarding things. I always say these things. Any one of you as elders, I'm begging, if you know of any vacancy that you can assist, please be coming to us. Wallah, we have so many. Some are qualified, they have everything, but they don't have how and where to follow to get this job. If you assist one person to get a job, and that person gets that job, you put smiles and joy in his heart. It's one of the greatest ibadah you can do in your life. We mentioned this, Rasulullah said, one of the greatest ibadah you can do is to put joy and smile in a believer. Therefore, I'm begging those of you that are not even here that will listen to us, we are begging you, if you know of vacancies, please and please be coming to assist. We have a lot of them. Some of them will be coming to us. We don't also know what to do. We send them here, we send them there. You see a lot of excuses. Create opportunity. It's one of the things you can do if Allah grants you opportunity to occupy a position. How many people have you assisted to also secure a job? How many have you assisted to also get this thing? It's a very important thing. And as Muslims, we should take this with all seriousness. I pray Allah Ta'ala will assist us. This person said on the last question, Assalamu alaikum, madam. If I want to marry a sister, okay, no, I've answered this one. I think that's uncle. That's all too, inshallah. Okay, we've come to the end of today's lessons. As I used to say that we take these lessons to assess ourselves. Let's see how close we are to all these verses of the glorious Quran we are reciting. I pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant us the opportunity to do those things that will earn us His pleasure. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us our shortcomings. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enrich us with useful health, useful knowledge, and useful wealth. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless our lives, bless our resources, bless our opportunities, bless our family. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala assist us and assist our ummah. May Allah grant us our need. Oh Allah, we are your slaves and servants. We ask you for forgiveness. We ask you for assistance. We ask you to forgive us and forgive our parents that are not alive and assist those of our parents that are still alive. We ask you, Allah, to forgive our brothers and our sisters and all those among our believing Muslims that have died. May Allah Ta'ala admit them in Jannatul Firdaus. And for us that are living, we pray Allah Ta'ala will protect our iman, enhance all our activities, and may Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala bless us. If it is time for us to return back to Allah, oh Allah, forgive us and admit us in Jannatul Firdaus. برحمتك يا رب العالمين. اللهم ربنا عليك توكلنا وإليك أنبنا وإليك المصير. اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار. اللهم ربنا عليك توكلنا وإليك أنبنا وإليك المصير. اللهم ربنا عليك توكلنا وإليك أنبنا وإليك المصير. اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم ربنا لا تدع لنا في مقامنا هذا ذنبا إلا غفرته ولا هما إلا فرجته ولا دينا إلا قضيته ولا مريضا إلا شفيته ولا ميتا إلا رحمته ولا مبتلا إلا عافيته ولا حاجة من حوائج الدنيا والآخرة إلا قضيتها برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين يا رب العالمين. ربنا أتمم لنا نورنا واغفر لنا إنك على كل شيء قدير. ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. اللهم إنك عفو تحب العفو فاعف عنا. اللهم إنك عفو تحب العفو فاعف عنا. فاعف عنا يا كريم واغفر لنا وارحمنا يا أرحم الراحمين يا رب العالمين. اللهم اعز الاسلام والمسلمين واذل الشرك والمشركين ووحد صفوف المسلمين على الحق برحمتك يا رب العالمين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وآل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد، وبارك على محمد وآل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وآل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين، الحمد لله رب العالمين.